Hello, we want to welcome you to this Panhellenic Sorority Recruitment Info session for both parents and students. I'm Carmela, I'm the Panhellenic Vice President of Recruitment.
Hi there, I'm Elaine. I'm the Panhellenic Advisor here at FAU.
So just an overview of what we'll be talking about in this webinar. We'll be doing an overview of being a member, expectations of membership, recruitment logistics, eligibility for primary recruitment, recruitment counselors, myths and facts, tips for successful recruitment, tips for parents, and after recruitment, as well as connecting with us.
So to give you an overview of what it means to be a member of the Panhellenic community, it provides you with women who are your sisters, those that are in your chapter are your sisters, and then we also kindly call women in other chapters our Panhellenic sisters. So you join a network of women that is meant to be a sisterhood, is meant to be a place of support and development for you. Leadership development is a huge part of being a member of a Panhellenic organization. It's meant to sort of challenge you and get you out of your comfort zone. It's meant to give you opportunities to take on positions or responsibilities that help you grow as an individual and help prepare you for life after college. Scholarship is a really important part of being a member of a Panhellenic organization. You have to have a certain GPA to get into the organization and to maintain active membership status. And a benefit of being a member of a Panhellenic organization is that there are usually a lot of other members in your own chapter or in the other chapters who are in the same major as you and have taken some of the same classes as you have or will take and can be sort of academic mentors in that sense. The social aspect is obviously really important of being a member of a sorority and being a member of the Greek community. In general, Panhellenic chapters are social-based organizations. They do have social events with other sororities as well as fraternities to connect and meet with other people in the Greek community. Sometimes these social events are service-based or educational-based, or sometimes they're just purely social in nature. Organizations will go out to trampoline parks or do mini golfing or have really like dressy formals at the end of the semester. They do all sorts of different types of social events, so it keeps things fun and exciting. And service and philanthropy are also a really important part of being a member of a Panhellenic sorority. As Carmela mentioned before during the terminology section, every organization has a philanthropy, which is an organization that they donate money to. And so they'll host events, they'll raise awareness for their cause, and just make sure people know how important it is to support them. And they do this through different types of events like dances and cheer competitions, relay races, and other fun events that help get the community members involved and aware of that cause. Our sororities will also participate in acts of service, and they volunteer their time here at FAU as well as in the South Florida community.
So next we'll be reviewing the expectations of membership. So standards and accountability is something really important. Every organization has different standards policies, and most chapters have policies in place that can give members different penalties or even cancellations of memberships for breaking Florida or U.S. laws, which can include underage drinking, anything of that sort. Dues are also an expectation. So membership dues in the first semester typically range from $600 to $800. After the first semester, they drop to about $400 to $600. And the reason for the drop of about $100 is after the first semester, since they'll have gone through their new member program, they'll have their new member dues, which covers their new member education, their badge, and all of that stuff. And dues typically cover national organization fees and university and council fees, as well as chapter insurance, and contributes to the overall chapter budget to make all the fun events happen. Dues can typically be broken down into installments to be paid throughout the semester rather than all up front, and not paying dues can lead to consequences such as attendance restrictions or expulsion from the sorority, as well as affecting credit score. So as Elaine was also talking about, academics is a super important expectation. Each organization is different with their academics expectations from their members, and some organizations have requirement by term, some have by credit hour as well. And there are also many informal types of academic support, such as having people in your major, like Elaine said, taking classes with members, easy connection to the class office and Center for Teaching and Learning through the Fraternity and Sorority Life office. You must be a degree-seeking student to go through recruitment, and this means that early start students aren't eligible to go through until spring of 2020. For time commitment, most organizations have around 1 to 2 mandatory events per week and many more optional events throughout the week, such as sisterhood, socials, and other organizations' events as well that you can go to support, like philanthropies and such. Taking on different leadership roles within the chapter or council can also increase time commitment. And then the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life has the new member education theories and anti-hazing module, which we'll go over a little more depth later in the webinar.
So to talk a little bit about recruitment logistics, the first thing we wanted to cover is what a legacy is. A legacy is a daughter, sister, or granddaughter of an initiated member of a sorority. Each MPC member organization will have its own definition of and invitation policies regarding legacies. So it is individual to the chapter, but if you are going through recruitment, or if you know someone who's going through recruitment and if they're a legacy, they need to report that information when they register, so that the sorority that they're a legacy for can be notified that they have someone going through the recruitment process who has a sister or a grandmother or a mother who is part of that organization, so just so that they're aware. The College Panhellenic Association doesn't have any jurisdiction over legacies, so that means that even though you indicate that you're a legacy for an organization, it doesn't guarantee membership to that organization. It is always best to go through the sorority recruitment process with an open mind, but like I said, it's more important that we just let the organizations know upfront who their legacies are, because it does just give you a better chance of getting connected to that organization. The mutual selection process is the part of the recruitment process where the chapter is evaluating each potential new member, and then each potential new member is also evaluating each chapter that they visit. If the potential new member and the chapter, if both parties like each other, then they move forward with the process. Sort of an easy way to understand this is to compare it to dating. So when both individuals like what's happening, then things move forward accordingly. If the potential new member is invited to a chapter, even if they didn't feel as connected and maybe they don't really want to go, they still need to attend that event during that recruitment round, but they will never be forced to join that organization if they don't want to. The dates for primary recruitment, oh, that's Carmela, sorry.
So dates for primary recruitment are August 23rd through August 31st. The 23rd is orientation, and during this time, students will be learning more about the week ahead of them. They're going to hear from a professional speaker on going through recruitment confidently, as well as fill their time conflict forms in the event that they have evening classes that fall during recruitment times. College Panhellenic does their best to schedule their events around their class time so they don't miss class, but they must indicate on their conflict form in order for us to do it. And this day will start around 2:30 and they'll be done by 5:30. The 24th and 25th is Sisterhood Round. This is the first day of going into events. Within these 2 days, they'll visit all 6 chapters, and they can have anywhere between 0 to 6 events in one day. If they have all 6 events on Saturday, they don't have to come Sunday, or they can have 3 one day, 3 the other day. The time frame for these days is 10 to 6. However, once they're done with their events for the day, they are welcome to leave. Then Monday the 26th, they'll have as a day off to prepare themselves for the week ahead and make sure they're all set with their classes and assignments. The 27th and 28th is the Leadership Scholarship Round, and they'll be visiting anywhere between 1 and 5 chapters. Depending on their time conflicts and schedules, we'll try to schedule all their events on one day so they can have one of those days off to relax and focus on their academics. And these events can start as early as 4 p.m. and end around 10 p.m., all depending on their schedules. The 29th is Philanthropy Round, and they can be seeing anywhere between 1 and 4 chapters this day, and the time frame for this day is also 4 to 10 p.m. The last day of events is the 30th, which is Preference Round, and they can see anywhere between 1 and 2 chapters this day. And this is the day they'll make their final selection of their top choices, as well as sign a form which is thoroughly explained to them before they sign it. This time frame is also 4 to 10 p.m. And finally, it's bid day on the 31st. This day is a much more casual and much more high energy day, and it's a celebration in their new membership and their first time getting to wear their letters. But it's also super important that they eat before coming on this day and make sure they're staying hydrated, because South Florida is very hot in August.
All right, so in order to be eligible to participate in primary recruitment, the first thing that a potential new member will need to do is register and pay the $75 fee. The fee will go up to $80 on the day of fall freshman move-in, which is August 14th. The fee that they pay is used to cover venue costs for the week, all the merchandise that they're given, which includes a recruitment t-shirt and other little gifts, and various other recruitment-related things. The student must also be degree seeking here at FAU. And the College Panhellenic, while we don't have a GPA requirement to go through the recruitment process, each chapter has a GPA requirement to join the organization. And so that means that we, as Panhellenic, are able to permit someone with a lower GPA to go through but it doesn't guarantee that they'll be invited back by any of the chapters. There's a potential that they could be released from those chapters and not invited back after the first round. And if a woman is not invited back to any chapters, then she is essentially released from the process and her recruitment experience will end at that time. If for some reason a student is not able to go through fall primary recruitment, there is spring recruitment. It just won't include all 6 organizations. It will only include the organizations that have open spots. That could be anywhere from between 1 and 3 organizations out of the 6 will usually have open spots and conduct spring recruitment.
So moving on to recruitment counselors, these women are also known as rogamas, and they're women that are in a sorority and they've stepped away from their chapters for the week of recruitment to help potential new members go through the recruitment process. These women are the potential new members' go-to person throughout the week, and they can answer any and all recruitment-related questions from outfits to time conflicts to just general questions about the week. And recruitment counselors help make sure everything's okay with them and coaching them through the process in the week.
All right, so we wanted to bust some myths and give you some factual information about the recruitment process. The first myth we wanted to cover is that a lot of women think that they won't have time for their studies if they join a sorority. And the fact is that, as we've stated a couple times before, academics is one of Panhellenics' values, and it's highly supported, and it's a huge focus for our organizations. The chapters may place restrictions on members whose GPA falls below, and that's intended to motivate them and help them focus on their academics. And there's also a lot of support that's offered through women in the chapter who are maybe older, in the same major, have taken those classes that they're taking, can provide some academic advice. There's a lot of connection to academic resources on campus. A lot of the organization members will do study hours together, so there's a lot of ways that women can be academically successful through their sorority membership. Another myth is that women think that if they join a sorority, they're automatically going to be hazed, and we wanted to make it very clear that FAU has a strict anti-hazing policy. All potential new members are taking an online anti-hazing course before they accept membership, and all members will participate in National Hazing Prevention Week. That's something that is celebrated every September by college campuses across the country. And FAU also has an anonymous reporting opportunity so that if anyone sees some suspicious activity, if they hear that a friend has experienced something, or if they see something happening, they are able to report that and not be afraid of retaliation or anything like that. It can be reported anonymously. Many chapters will also have their own anti-hazing education programs in addition to things that Fraternity and Sorority Life and the greater university provides. And the other myth we wanted to cover was that sorority membership will have no post-graduation benefits, and this is not true at all. Sorority membership is not just 4 years, it's for life. Following graduation, sorority women continue to be members of the organization and will benefit from their membership through extensive networking opportunities with sisters around the world. And I can speak from experience when I say that there are tons of great opportunities that lie ahead after graduation through being a member of a sorority. So it's a great thing to be part of.
So on to some tips for a successful recruitment. So first thing is be yourself. The women on the side are just as nervous as you. Being yourself is going to help you make authentic connections throughout the process and in the end find your true home. Make sure you ask questions. Your rogamas will help you prepare different questions to ask each day to learn about the chapters based on the focus of the event each day. For example, on Philanthropy Night, she'll help you think of questions to ask these chapters about their philanthropies. Make sure you attend pre-recruitment events such as Summer Preview, Owl Involved, and Meet the Greeks. Attending these events will help you meet more people and get used to the process and all that comes with it. It's helpful to see some familiar faces when you go into the events as well. Follow the organizations on social media and do your research. Research the chapters and what they're about. It's helpful to go in with background knowledge so you can ask in-depth questions. To find out about these chapters, you can go to fau.edu/fslife to find their chapter profile pages, and then you can also research different outfits to wear through the FAU Panhellenic Pinterest board, which has outfits and it's linked there as well. Make sure you make friends with everyone and don't let yourself fall behind in schoolwork, and have fun with your recruitment outfits. Remember to bring comfy shoes for in-between events. You're going to be standing and walking a lot, and bring a sweater because it may be very hot outside, but the rooms are very chilly inside. And as always, keep an open mind and take notes and talk with your recruitment counselor. Taking notes on your phone or bringing a notebook You're going to want to take quick notes after each round to remember your experience. It can be easy to mix them up, so write down your experience, how you felt, and what did you talk about. And finally, trust the process. Trusting the process is like understanding everything happens for a reason. You'll hear this a lot during the recruitment week, and it just means go in with an open mind, be adaptable, and accepting to the whole process. You may be discouraged at some points, but it is important to trust that everything is happening for a reason and to keep going through.
We also wanted to share some tips for parents if we have any parents listening in. If you or your student have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. There's a lot of different people that you can reach out to. You can talk to the College Panhellenic Association, which is made up of student leaders who run the recruitment process. You can reach out to staff members in the Fraternity and Sorority Life office as well. And if you wanted to reach out to any chapters directly, we just ask that you go through Panhellenic or through Fraternity and Sorority Life, and we'll connect you with the chapter that you're trying to reach. And you will find our contact information at the end of this webinar. Make sure that you're doing your research too. You can find all of our information about which organizations are part of our Panhellenic community on our website, and you can look at their national websites and do some additional research on the organizations that are part of our Panhellenic community as well. Definitely be supportive of the student who's going through the recruitment process. It can be a very stressful experience for many women. A lot of them are just very excited about all of the, potential opportunities for sorority membership and tend to feel a little bit overwhelmed. They're very busy. There's a lot of things going on. They're meeting a lot of people. They're trying to remember all the names. And so the best thing that you can do is just be supportive of them and have a positive outlook and, try to help them keep their chin up through the process. Definitely take advantage of the resources that are provided to both you and your student. Like I said before, the Fraternity and Sorority Life website is a great start. It's a great starting spot. There's a lot of information there, and there's all of our contact information is there if you wanted to follow up with us if you have any specific questions that you couldn't answer on the website. You can also contact Panhellenic. They can answer questions about the recruitment process, and you can utilize different opportunities to learn about Fraternity and Sorority Life at events such as freshman orientation, transfer orientation. We have various events over the summer or in the fall semester where you'll have an opportunity to meet with members of the organizations and also the staff members. And definitely get involved. If your student tells you that she's unhappy with her recruitment experience, ask her why. Encourage her to speak with her ROGAMA. Let her know that she doesn't have to go on with the process if she doesn't want to. We never obligate anyone to stay in the process if they feel like it's not for them or if they want to withdraw themselves. That's fine. Some women do tend to be unhappy if their favorite chapter doesn't invite them back. But if we keep them focused on who did invite them back, oftentimes they'll warm up to those chapters and end up being really happy in the long run. So encourage them to have an open mind. And even if she doesn't end up joining a sorority through that process, she'll make a ton of friends along the way, and she can always try again in the spring or in the following fall semester.
So after recruitment, they're going to be starting their chapter new member education process. And during this time, the new members learn about the sorority's history as well as other things such as their philanthropies, chapter leadership roles, and then also bonding with their new member class. The new member process ends at their initiation where she becomes a regular active member, and while she has less meetings to attend, there will be standards and expectations that the chapter maintains for all members, like we talked about earlier. She'll also have to attend the New Member Education Series, which is a series of workshops hosted by the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life, and it addresses topics such as hazing education and prevention, responsible alcohol consumption, bystander intervention, and more in-depth information about the FAU Greek community and leadership opportunities offered by the office. And then also getting involved. This is now their chance to run for different chapter leadership positions, as well as get involved in different organizations outside of Greek life. And then if you'd like to connect with us, this is our social media as well as our website and the offices and my email. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and let us know.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
So some terminology that we want to go over to make sure everyone understands. Chapter, it's a membership unit of an inter or national sorority, so the individual sororities that we have here on campus. College Panhellenic Association is the cooperative campus organization of all collegiate members of NPC member organizations and associate members on the campus. A new member is a woman who accepted a bid from a sorority but is not yet an active member of a chapter. NPC is the umbrella organization for the 26 international and national sororities throughout the country. Philanthropy is a specific organization or cause to which members donate volunteer hours and money, and they do different events for them. A council is the governing body of all Panhellenic organizations on campus. Dues is the cost of joining a sorority, and an executive board is the officers of a chapter or a council executive board. Members are responsible for running the day-to-day business of the chapter or the council.